are 144. Thank you, Lord. So, all right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone, because those are the people I learned this truth from, so acknowledgement to them. And I want to give double honors to all the other elders, giving us this non-stop energy, because we're coming, trying to catch our salvation daily. We continuously preaching out so we can get these people around this world that they hear and understand also their judgments, and that we can continue put more spirit, more power in his men. So Lord willing, we can be a vessel unto them, because it's time. This is so I'm gonna get into it, because you see what's going on. You see prophecy out throughout no other. So the Lord is putting the spirit upon his men to continuously push it, to continuously consume this devil through the spirit of the Lord, through all this danger time that they're really trying to put forth their MOTB system. They're trying to set forth, trying to set forth a system that they can have the Lord's people, the Lord's woman, as a tool, as commit adultery with our people. So let's get it, because the Lord said it was going to be time, that it was going to be a appointed time. So let me grab Salakia. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. So it was going to be a thing. So you see prophecies, it was going to be a lot of things going on, but the spirit of the prophets were going to be out on the street, and we're going to tell you what was going to happen, and it was going to proclaim it against the Gentiles, because this World War III is right at the doorstep. That is going to be, the spiritual war is already happening, and there's going to be a physical war on this earth, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and that the Lord is doing it, that he's killing everyone. You see all these judgment. Right now it was the brother Amwan Yasharallah, it was a judgment in Riverside, more in Marietta, that a plane crashed, and just crashed in the field, 6 people dead. So this is what's going on, because they're exposed. So I'm going to get into the point, but the point is in 9. So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed. So we all know Esau has been made bare, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. So who is the Lord? The spirit of the Lord's mouth, the prophets. So he, Shalom Tumayim Lab, Yahba Shemal Shah Brakatah. He created a system that the Lord put in the spirit on his men to come and tell what this man is doing, what Esau, Edom, and what all, because we're the prophets unto the nations. Look, let me grab that. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Behold, I have formed thee in the belly. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. So everyone that's out here preaching in the truth, everyone out here, the Lord knew them before. He knew everyone. But to the prophets, before they were formed in the belly, the Lord knew who was going to come out in the spirit and consume this devil, consume him with the spirit of the Lord. And before they came forth out of the womb, I sanctified me. So the Lord ordained men to come at this time. At the end, he said, at the end it shall speak. So at this time, he was going to bring forth men that had bold as lions, coming out every day, as much as you can, doing lessons, doing sit downs, doing all these camp videos, coming out and telling them what this man was going to do, how he thinks, how we think, everything, because the Lord is consuming this man. sanctified thee, and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So telling everyone, what does prophet mean? Telling them before. So we're telling them what they're going to go into, which is slavery, and what we're going to be going into. A kingdom of eternal kingdom of gods and priests, and this is what was going to be. A prophet unto the nation, because it was going to be spoken throughout the nations, and then the end shall come. Let me grab that. Where is it in this? This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom, which is good news for the kingdom of heaven, but bad news to all these heathen rulerships, all these other peoples, it was going to be preached throughout the streets. Shall be preached through all the world for a witness unto all the nations. So he said he was going to put the spirit of his mouth was going to consume this devil. And he said he formed them and sanctified them beforehand to be a prophet unto him, to tell him what was going to happen before time, and how we are taught by these prophecies. Because when these spirits, we see these things are happening, we look at it and it's like, man, this is in the scriptures. Hey, don't you know this is in the scriptures? And they look at it, it's like, damn, I'm a heathen. Now they know their judgment. A witness unto all the nations, and then shall the end come. So now we out here, right, bold as lions, telling them, hey, you see this is happening? It's your end. It is your end, Esau. It is your end, Elam. It is your end, Moab, the so-called Chinese men, the so-called Indian men, the so-called Iranian men. All these people, it's the end for you. When therefore shall seek the... Oh, that's going into something else. Let's go 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse... Because it happened too, desolation, whatever it is. But it happened 2 times, 70 AD and then right before. With the spirit of the mouth it shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So when he comes, through his godly power on his chariot, is going to come and devour these people. So this was going to say, the Lord said he was going to tell us when the end was going to come, and then after it, World War III, all these prophecies are going to go. So we're going to get into that a little bit. Shalom, Yawatzazak. Shalom, Yahbashim al Shabrakatah. Shalom, Elder Yahbakah. Yahbashim al Shabrakatah. Because the Lord said he was going to be a prophet unto the nations. And what we're going to be prophesying, let's get that first. And unto our people, because we're also, because the prophet said before, he's saying, repent, because bad things are happening. And our people hate that. This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 7. Nevertheless, hear that this word that I speak in thy ear. So he said, hear these words. Everyone, because we're a prophet to the nations and to our people. We're telling them what's coming forth. And it's going to be a bad time because World War III is on the horizon. And you see that those Amalekites are now bombing Lebanon or Libya, whatever country it is. You see that's a sign that the least of the flock shall bring them out. So that war and instability in that land is going to cause Irania to come at them. And then which is Persia, which is also in the prophecy of Persia, Gog, Magog. So he said this was going to happen. Listen in thy ear, in the ears of all the people, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries of great evil, of great against great kingdoms, of war, of evil, and of pestilence. So he's going to say, just like even to our people, when our nation was going to go, the Lord put spirits on prophets to tell, this was going to happen. We were going to go into captivity. We were going to go into all these things. But because it was going to be a falling away first, and then, he was going to come and bring the spirit of his mouth to come on these preachers until the end of the heathen rulership. So the Lord said it was going. It's a war, and what is going on the horizon? World War III. And people think that's evil, that we're saying that. But didn't the Lord say? Let me just grab it. Because all these things seem like it's going to be a lot of death. Of course it's going to be death. And the Lord is ordaining that. Let me grab it. Check my notes real quick. This is verse 39. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. So all this war and this pestilence, you're seeing that it's going to create danger. It's going to create a lot of death. Well, the Lord is ordaining it. That's why he said, I'm a prophet unto the nations. That we were going to come back on the earth and tell them and consume them with the spirit of his mouth, telling them what's going to happen to them. Because the Lord ordained it. He said it's time for that great sacrifice against this wicked place. This wicked, and all these kingdoms need to go and help build our kingdom. So he's making alive and he's killing. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So all these people that were being wicked, doing all these things, having us in slavery and thinking that they were all good and handy, well, now you're in the hands of the Lord. He said he was going to consume them with the spirit of his mouth. Let me grab that. Again, I'm going to grab something else here. I don't have that in my Bible. I don't have that page. Let me grab it in here. Check the comment board too. This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. I'm going to start at 30. For we know him that he said, vengeance belongs unto me. So all these people that were doing to his people, punishing them, putting us in slavery, calling us bywords and bywords. So the Lord knew that we were helpless. He was words. So he was going to put a spirit on us to be able to come and tell them their judgment for touching the Lord. And we were not going to do anything. Like you see a lot of people thinking that no fucking around crew, that they were going to come and try to fight off Esau, Edom using their blessings. Well, our warfare is not carnal. The warfare we use is spiritual because we have a person that's going to handle our enemies. The Lord said the vengeance is his. Vengeance belongs to me, and I will recompense. So he was going to, why they were getting consumed by the spirit of his mouth, his prophets, because of what they did, because the Lord said he was going to recompense them for the things they did. So he has a reason, because the Lord kills and he makes alive. And said to the Lord, again, the Lord shall judge his people. So he put us in slavery, but you took it way too far. And it is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God. And now you're about to, Esau, Edom, and all these other nations, you're about to fall in the hands of the right hand, which is Yahushua, which when you pierced him, you made him extremely angry. So you're going to have to deal with this judgment. And that all you nations, everything you guys have did, and then every person that was wicked upon our people, you're going to have to deal with that. Falling into his hands, the authority of the Lord. Because watch what's going to happen. So let's get into it now. Slovakia. These pages are all jumbled because they're ripped out. So let me, bear with me. I gotta get a new sword. That's what I need to do. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, and the natural Gentiles. He said we're a prophet upon the nation. So we're going to go and prophesy throughout all these places. So you see that the Lord put the spirit of man and people in Philippines. He said his people in Tanzania, people all in the land of Ham. His people in Italy. His people all over the world proclaiming and telling that World War III is coming. That all these things are happening. That the Esau Edom is trying to put forth a system that he can charagma everybody and try to defeat the Lord. Well, this is what the Lord told us to do. Proclaim these among the Gentiles and prepare war. So now look what they're doing. They're having all these guns. What is it called? The modern day sword is the gun, but they have all these weapons that they're now putting most of their money into it. Look at United States. They just sent they said they missed it, but $6.2 billion over there. And now they're about to send more. All these countries are literally fighting in the EU and NATO, fighting about how much money they're sending to the Ukraine. So that's preparing war. They're saying, is something's big going to happen? So Russia and all these other countries, I think it was like 33 countries that want to go into so it's a war, World War III. World War III is coming, and that's what we have to get. He said, prepare to these nations, war. Wake up the mighty man and let all the men of war draw near. So now you see all these drills, military drills that they're doing in this country, because what do you think they're doing that for? You think they just practice makes perfect. Well, when was it now? Remember, after United States bombed Hiroshima, they made Japan not able to make their army bigger. They made all the countries that lost the war to lower the size of their army and stop weaponizing their stuff. Well, that shit went away. Now, just like now, they said it's a war crime to use cluster bombs. But now they're sending it to Ukraine, President Biden. So all these rules and everything they were putting forth is going away. All the man of war. So what is happening? So you see, now they just had Wagner go into Belarus, and then they have all these other countries going to African military in the African countries. China is weaponizing everything over there. They're all coming for this time that is going to be no other, for the battle of Jehoshaphat. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks. So these are architectural tools. So he said that's why it's going to be war. We're going to prophesy war, pestilence, evil onto this place, because that's what's coming to it. Because of all the evil it has did, this is just the recompense the Lord is going to put forth on this place. So all these agriculture tools, you said, Monsanto, because you know how wars work. When they get into an act of war, like back in the day, it was Jeep and Ford. Ford was literally building vehicles for the Nazi Germany. So if you didn't know, that's how America got 80% of the gold reserve at that time, right before, after World War II, they got that much. It's because they were funding both sides of the war. Well, the bankers were, but they use, you know how they use these I'm trying to think, puppet companies, that they actually have them do it, but they all owned by the same people, which is with the bankers. We're having them build all these weapons. So you see, like, they did that Schindler List movie. It was companies that would build stainless steel pots. Well, now they're creating bullets. Now they're doing all these things. So all these agriculture tools, they're not going to be making that anymore. Or you see the ones that make fertilizer companies, they're not making fertilizer anymore. They're going to make chemical bombs. Or the ones that are making another agriculture, like tractors, you're going to start seeing them now creating tanks, taking stuff like that. This is why, because the U.S. government doesn't have a company that makes banks, a company that makes tanks. They contract it out to other countries, companies that do it. So when it's not going to, people are not going to be buying these things, all money efforts are going to be going into war. So now those are the ones that are worse. So you don't see companies now starting to convert to these type of weapons. Weapon making companies and a rationing company, things that are needed for war. And now you see that at a high level now. And that's why everyone's fighting for Taiwan. China and all that having that problem in Taiwan is because they make most of the chips. Like the computer chip, you see those circuit boards, because you need a certain kind of mineral that is usually exclusively made in the areas of China and Taiwan. Reason why they do it, because you can make it in the United States too. You have to destroy mountains, like you have to bury deep and take out the minerals out of your country to be able to grow it. They rather have it in a third world country that has those minerals. So that's why Taiwan is very important, because they have the infrastructure, they have all these things to do it. So why it takes years to start building an infrastructure for you able to take those mining minerals out of that country. So that's what's happening now. So that's why Taiwan is an important part, because all these weapons now are needed. CIPs, those circuit breakers, to work. Even all these vehicles, every car now you see has to have these circuit breakers in it, which you need those minerals from Taiwan, and then also China makes it, but you already know how China and America are doing right now. And now you're seeing, like Iran, these weapons are getting moved in so many places, it's getting into other people's hands. So Iran just got a Javelin, and they reverse engineered it, and now they're able to make javelins, which is a type of rocket launcher that follows you. It can be heat seeking, and all you have to do is target it on it, and it's going to follow you unless you have like a heat thing, because they're heat seeker. But this is what's happening. Unto the prudent hits into spirits, and let the weak say, I am strong. So now North Korea is now saying, and that their country, they want to annihilate the West, come against Babylon the Great. China's saying that United States ships are, now they used to be unsinkable, but now they're sinkable, that they have hypersonic missiles. So you see all these things. So the Lord said that we were going to prophesy that before it, and we're going to put these things consume. Let's get back in it. Let me grab it again. That's where I started. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So that's what he was going to do. So the Lord, he said he was going to consume them with the spirit of his mouth. So the prophet's going to preach them in that they can't do nothing but do what the spirit of the Lord has made them do. So you see now all these countries and all these people are now doing exactly what the Lord said they were going to do. So they're consumed into the ability that they're going to fight a war, they'll lose, and we're going to take over this world. Because let me just grab it. This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. So he said he was going to, it's so bad that we were going to tell them right in their face what they were going to do. It was going to consume them into a fear, into now that they're panicking. They're starting to really push these systems. They're starting to get sloppy. And so, and the spirit of the mouth with these prophets being out on these highways and hedges, telling them, these lowly men, telling them exactly what they were going to do, how they're going to do it, and and it can't be stopped. Because this is what? Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. So, you couldn't stop it. Like your heart, your mind, everything you're thinking, the Lord is literally controlling you. And these are weak men, because remember, the Lord even gave examples when I believe it was like Michael, and he had to get help from Yahushua, the two high up angels, to change the minds of, I think it was either Silas the Great, it was one of those Persian leaders that had a very, very strong mind, and it took 21 days. So just like that, the Lord has angels in the mind, changing the minds of how they're going to do, what they're going to do, the whole thing. It starts with these prophets on the street that the Lord ordained, which created the start from the beginning. Shalom, GMS, Yawathanan, Bawafa, Yabashimal Shabrakata. As the rivers of water, he turned it whatsoever he will, and every way of man is right in his heart, of his own eyes, but the Lord ponders the heart. He's changing, and he knows what you're thinking. He knows that you really think that you're going to be able to defeat him. He put it in your mind. He made you think that you can, he made Babylon, I forgot, Salakia, let me just grab it. He made China really think that they have a chance. Because this is what's in their heart. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 46. Because you see now that's the biggest thing, that they have this new technology in China that they call it a neutral strike, a narrow strike, that they can hit you in the mind and with a bomb, like a laser type of bomb, and it hits you and changes your ability to think, disrupts you. They said they can either make you stop warring or make you become crazy and all these things. But because they, like Moab really thinks they're going to win a war. They're going to take over and become the next world power. But let's see what the Lord said. That's why the Lord said, proclaim these to the nations. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 46. And now Asia, that partake it in the, I'm going to start at 45. And they that remain under her shall do service unto them that have put her fear in her. And now Asia, that are partakers of the hope of Babylon, the hope of Babylon. So you've seen that what did Moab have been doing? What have they been doing really all this time? Been copying all this system, going to, capitalism, changing their philosophies, doing to more Western ways, doing all these things because they had the same hope. Moab and Esau have been partners since the beginning. And are the glory of her persons. That's what Asia. Woe unto thee, thou wench, because thou hast made thyself like unto her. So now they think they're going to beat them, even if they literally are just a clone of Esau Edom. The more white skin you are in Asia, the more productive in marriage you can be as a woman. The more liking, like they said that's the number one thing to get an Asian girl is to be a so-called white man and be able to speak Mandarin or whatever the other fucking Ching language they speak. You have Blake when they're self-liker. Your whole system, your whole philosophy, even if they're trying to change it now for war purposes, because they've seen that they're small men. So them being effeminized is not even hard. That's why you go to Thailand and those disgusting abominations look exactly like girls when they trance over. But they made themselves like unto her, and has decked thy daughters in her whoredom. Do these philosophies, do all these things. What's up, brother? Hey man, I gotta have another. Just walking with it out. It's crazy. That they might please the glory in her lover, which always desired to commit whoredoms with thee. Thou hast come follow that is hated in all her works and inventions, therefore said the Lord, I will send plagues. So now you're seeing that Asia, and you see this judgment over in Moab town all the time. And they see that the end is coming. They're working everything possible with that, which is the real plague, which is Esau. In the of the Lord, as the rudder turned it whatsoever he will. And every way of man is right in their own heart. So you see these kings really think that they're about to do something. You think Asia was going, even if they partook and did and made themselves like on that they're going to continuously live on and take over, be the world power. It's right in their own heart, in their own eyes. But the Lord ponders their hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable than the Lord than sacrifice. So what is justice? Our people have been put into slavery through all this time. So you think the Lord is not about, it's better to do justice, and the Lord is going to give us the ultimate justice. He's going to stop these people. He's going to bring forth World War II upon these people. Let me grab my note. Let me grab it. This is Zephaniah. Chapter 3. And I'm going to start. Yep, I'm going to start at 8. This is, therefore wait upon me, said the Lord. So the Lord said, wait upon him. Because the Lord is his. And it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord. Recompense, that's what he was going to do. So he's going to recompense these nations. So wait upon me, said the Lord, and upon the day I will rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations. For what? He was going to gather the nations for what? That I make an assembly of their kingdoms and pour out my indignation on them. So that's what this World War III and all this mayhem is going to be for the Lord to pour out his indignation upon these people. Let me see. Check the comment board. Okay. And pour my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So you see what these people have did, what they continuously do, what Esau Edom, that's why he's getting consumed with the spirit of his mouth, of the Lord's mouth, that they have, just get it. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. And then I'm going to I'm going to just read it all the way down to the point. Verse 9, if any man has ears, let them hear. So we're just saying, and this is, if anyone, let them hear the understanding of this. Because everyone got ears. But why is he asking that? Because the Lord knows that people got ears, We're talking about the spiritual hearers. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So this is why he's gathering all these nations onto war. So they led us in captivity. They put us in these horrible situations, made us proverbs, made us nothing but their slaves onto them. They led us in captivity. He that killeth with the sword. So what have they been doing to the Lord's people? And why the fire of his jealousy is going to be upon them. They're literally trying to take over the Lord's woman and kill them and try to take them off the face of the earth and try to make sure that they can exalt their kingdom and their gods, all these nations. So they killed the Lord's people with the sword. Here is the patience. So this is what we're enduring about, this patience of the saints. Because that's what patience going is, the suffering, enduring all these things happening. Because when you're patient, you're patiently waiting. So that's why it starts, wait upon the Lord. Wait upon it. Because we know that it's getting worse and worse. We can't just jump and try to do stuff that is over. We just have to wait upon the Lord because he's already gathering them. You see these weapons and all these things, and all we have to do is, as his Lord, is he made us a prophet upon the nations. And the faith of the saints, because we know with patience that the Lord is going to deliver us out of this calamity, that he's going to put forth the things that he has wrote it, that he said was going to happen. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb. So just going even back into the Egyptian days, but now, you know, how his democratic system works. That they try to say, you know, Republican and Democrat, you know, that's why he spoke like a lamb, like we're really for the people. And if you now think we're a people, we have another party that if you want to make money, so you can be liberal or you can be conservative. This is what they spoke like, thinking that it's really going to help you. But he had 2 horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon. And it's going into that Athenian lawgiver, which is draconian laws for a simple thing that they're going to put in. Look at now, they're going to try to put a prison sentence if you speak against the LGBT people. If you hurt someone's feelings in Michigan, you can be arrested. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. And just as the ancient day Roman Empire, they took over the whole world and they were powerful. And anyone that stood against them, they crushed them and they made them tributaries. And all the other beasts, they controlled the earth. They controlled the earth upon, because the Lord, he controls the heart and he can put whoever he wants. And he said, didn't the Lord say, as in the Daniel, he was going to bring forth 4 major heathen rulerships. And cause them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So what happened in the ancient Roman Empire? The first ones with the fucking Caesars, starting with, they said Julius, but it was Augustus, was the actual first Caesar, the adopted son of, and he had the longest reign. But what happened with them? They literally fell, their empire fell, all the bad stuff happened, they got taken over, and then Jake took over, but when they were in their glory, they did all these things, and it was Edomites, they had that power. But now it's healed. After they went into the caves for 1,000 years and some change, they came down, to try to do what the Lord has put forth. So the Lord told us to prophesy this. And he did great wonders so that he made fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. These nuclear mobs. So the Lord put a spirit on them to be able to create a weapon, because he said he created the smith, the blow. He gave them the ability to create these ICBM missiles. He gave them the ability, what's his name? Slovakia. The guy that said, we have become destroyers of worlds. When they gave, first it started with a formula, equals MC squared, which I don't think Abraham, which was a Temanite, but they said he was a Temanite, but he also was a Jew. He came from Teman, but he was an Amalekite, but he came from Germany, from the land of Teman. And which he stole that idea because so-called he was in a patent office. Well, he started with that. They came to get the Manhattan Project, which they stole a lot of the German, and they created a weapon. It gave the ability to be able to make that thing go on test it and then drop it in front of all these nations. And that's why they had so much power, so they can show their wickedness upon the earth, so the nations get mad and be gathered up to destroy them. Thus said the Lord. And deceive them to dwell on the earth by the means of the miracles. Let me grab it, because I started off with this. Let me just grab this precept. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Even then, whose coming is after workings of Satan with all powers, signs, and lying wonders. So now you see that they're able to have blue beams. They have all this technology, all these things coming after the power of Satan, which the Lord gave it to them using these laws. Because how did Esau, Edom create and deceive a lot of people? Through the power they were given. And what is that? Starting from the days of Antiochus. Let's grab it. This is Daniel. Chapter 8, verse 24. And his power shall be mighty. So he has the spirit of Satan. All these lying wonders, it shall be mighty. But did he get it from himself? Having the power of Satan. But he is Satan on this world, but the Lord gave him the ability to have this type of power. But not by his own power. Some demons out here. And he shall destroy wonderful, and he shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. So this is what he's going to do. He shall destroy wonderful and prosper and precise, and through his policies to all these he spoke as a lamb, all these government helps, all these the welfare and the Planned Parenthood, all these things that he puts forth on his Congress. He was going to use, that was going to be a lot of his power, to have the people be able to, that's why they say a democracy, a demon rule, to have the people really sign, which is basically witchcraft, to sign their own destiny of what they really want, which when you use a spell, the left hand magic, that if you tell them through this, it works more effectively. They even show you in some of these animes, because like anime is just art imitates reality. Art imitates I'm trying to think the better the actual code. Reality. Art imitates reality, or it's something else. But like they say, when a spell is, when you tell them the spell, they have to show like Jujutsu Kaisen or Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like they use curse energy of like the spirit of like negative energy. So to make it work, they tell you how it works, and it makes that ability work stronger and it be more effective. Or even it's this show called The Order, which is they show the witchcraft. They say all these colleges is where most of all these policies and all this stuff starts, that they do seances. So when they say it towards you, it makes it even worse. So they're using the power of Satan through these policies and these systems that shall cause craft to prosper in hands. So where did LGBT marriage start? From these laws and systems. They say, when it's slavery, you were when people start believing that niggas was less than people. Of course, slavery, but even when we got, they made you 3/5 of a human being. They say anything that goes in a law, people follow. They follow the so-called, except when it has to do with something with them. But when they're trying to affect it, anything they do with law, they try to put forth, you like, oh, you breaking the law. And then now nobody can fight. It was like, well, that's the law. Which we're supposed to follow the law. You're not supposed to be a nigga. But that's how they use their power. And he shall mightily magnify himself in his heart, and by peace he shall destroy many. So he said he spoke as a lamb. And that peace, and this is talking about Antiochus days, but that qualifying it, but this is how they're using it now. Well, the same system, having these fucking electoral colleges, saying to make it think that you're actually voting for it, but you're not really voting for it. They're just it's a selection, not an election. And when you go for these things, they just want to have your energy to be into it, to have a choice. And so now you can't fight. Well, this is what the world wants. This is what the majority wants. So we have to follow it. This is how they use these systems. And he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. So this is going to be at the time. This is why he's gathering up the nations. At that end time, that he's going to literally try, he's so deceived in his mind because he had the children of the holy God in slavery for so long, which is not even that long. It was for a second, to the time, a couple hundred years. They didn't even have a full day unto the Lord. They have like a half a day. And which is, then that sucks. You can't even have a whole rulership for you, the weakest leader that ever lived. But in their mind, they thought they really thought they had it. They're going to try to fight against the Lord of Lords, Yahushua. And what is going to happen? They're going to destroy it without him, without even, with barely any power. They're going to use a sin, because there's going to be 1 hour. How many times have you seen a war, somebody in a war lose in an hour? It's like what happened in the United States in fucking Grenada. Like it was just like, it was a massacre. It was not even funny. It's going to be worse than that. So let me grab this again. The 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 9. Even whose coming is after the working of Satan with all signs and lying wonders, with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in Paris, because they receive not the love of the truth, and they that might be saved. So this is the people that are going to take the MOTB, because they didn't see the love of the truth. And so they're going to be deceived. They're going to take this, and we're going to get back into it. This is Revelation chapter 3. Verse 14. And he deceived them that dwelled on the earth, because they didn't receive the people that are our people. They didn't receive the love of the truth. So they were deceived. And they seem like this white man is God. He's the ultimate being. Shalom Shahar, Yahbashina Shabrakatah. He's the ultimate being. He's the being that we gotta follow. So you're deceived. So we gotta take it. If we don't take it, because it's not saying that it said deceive. These people are really, the only help we got is we got to go down and get the MOTB. This is how these are people, because they didn't receive the love of the truth. Why they didn't receive the love of the truth? Let's just get that and we're going to go back to it. This is 2 Corinthians. Verse 2, chapter 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, if it be hid, the ones that didn't receive the love of the truth, it be hid, because the only people that can receive the truth is our people. The other people, the nations, they're just getting this thing because they're getting their judgment and they're seeing what they're going to happen. But the ones that the gospel be hid, those ones that are going to be deceived and take it of our people and be destroyed as a heathen. If it be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Lost by loving the so-called white man like he's God. And whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not. So they just, the God of this world, which they see, the God of is Esau Edom, which believes that Satan has their back and is going to help them. So they're getting their power and energy from Satan, which doesn't understand that that's the left hand of the Lord, and the Lord controls everything. So they're about to get they're going to be falling in both hands, the left hand and the right hand of the Lord, and being destroyed. That's why I said it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God. You're just, the left hand is just pushing you into the right hand, and you're about to get crushed and die. And he blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of the Mashiach, because they didn't receive the love of the truth, the glory and this knowledge, this understanding, this is the truth. This is the light of the glorious gospel, the good news of Israel being an ultimate kingdom on earth after these heathen get put and stuffed out of power. But things have to happen. So that's why the Lord said he's going to make his prophets unto the nation, whose image of God should shine upon them. So, all right. You see yourself on this side? You see yourself on the sign? Have you heard about the 12 tribes of Israel and seeing that the Lord's coming back and he's coming to deliver his people? And just because you're not on this sign as a particular race, because we also were spread through all the nations. But have you heard of Israel, or so-called Israel?
Oh, no, I know about
Who do you learn from?
Shit, from the book and self-knowledge. I learned on my own, and my parents growing up, and just my elders I was listening to.
Who was your elders?
Church people that I grew up with. I was always in church, you know.
But you
it
know
ain't
that
about being in church, but I felt it.
Yeah, the church. Like the churches, those are like, the Lord would call those the harlot houses, because like church means to call out, you know. But because he said because they don't teach the gospel, because they don't understand that the good news is only for Israel. So the Lord only coming for Israel, the people of Israel, and everyone else, like we're talking about. Like Esau, the so-called white man, he's going into slavery, and the so-called Indian.
Esau?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Esau?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So
who's the fourth one? From the fourth tribe of Judah. And self, I know everything. Like for real, what I said, I think
yeah, like you see all these prophecies going that they're now trying to put forth this digital system, like digital banking, and they're trying to C-hip everyone. You spell it out C-H-I-P, because we can't say it, because Esau, he be taking your channel down. He's coming, and he's trying to put the charagma inside our hand, and so that digital banking can see. So you see that the end is coming. So he's having us come out here and preaching to our people, letting them repent and getting back to where the Lord is, because he's coming, and you can only be saved if you're like, do you know his actual name? Like the God's name? Yahweh? And his son?
Yeah, he's one Jesus.
Yahushua? Because there was no J in Hebrew, and there was no J in any language until like 1534.
That's what you know, the English Bible, like where it's written, you feel me, I don't want to get too much, you shouldn't always stuff, man, everything, continue, like, afterwards, the first rules.
Do you want to continue learning? Because I have elders too, and if you have a YouTube channel, and you can get it non-stop, more
knowledge. Write it down for me. I'll check it out for you. Yeah. I know one called The Dangerous Talk Show Live. That's an Israelite, you know. I'm continuing to slang their asses. Oh God. I was mad enough this one time. I was to help somebody out, or somebody see the light. It was working, bro. I've been in the trenches and with
Truth, very long. That's my channel. Taha One Love. That's my name.
The bottom one?
The one in the middle.
I guess so. Scott, you gonna see me? I'm a message. Can you get on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now. We're live.
No, can you send a message?
Yeah, you can. You can just put on the comment board, and then you can just give your name. And so, you know, time has come, and we got to get our preach to our people.
Yeah, I'm doing social media.
It's not really social media. We just be. I be on Tinder. I mean, Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. I don't have that. I'll be freaking. I just added it, so Twitter, and sometimes I'll be on it, but only for news and stuff because that's where you can't do these regular news sites. They're like fucking. You know how it is. I'm trying to think what that. It's fake media. I knew what's really going on. They'll tell you a lot. On the news sites right now, they'll say that it took it over by fucking, and then you see Belgium, and then you also see Switzerland. They went to shit. Like, but you won't see that on the news. You'll see that hooray to the LGBT community. That's the only thing you'll see.
What's that? LGBT community.
Sodomites here. Men that love men or women that love women. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's all you see.
Sodomite, I thought Sedom. I mean,
Sodom and Gomorrah. That's how it is. Let me grab something.
Damn, bro. Hell yeah, that's God right there. What the fuck? Taking on this shit. What the fuck? I don't know what the news on. Bad shit.
Yeah, they don't be telling you shit. They just be telling you. A child was helped today, or fucking retarded shit. I get this so much that I don't even have it on my scriptures.
What time is it?
Huh?
What time is it?
It is 2:42.
2:42. I might go back to Portugal again. Over there. You do what you're doing, man. You know, all we got. If you want spiritual stuff, I'm going to talk about talk. No matter what.
Alright, man.
I'm looking doing. Hey, that shit fly though too. Bro, where you get that motherfucker at?
A brother made it for me, but you know, this is our heritage, so we get back to it. Because then in the kingdom, we're about to really be fly. Right now, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Oh, it's right now.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna get back to it, man. Lord willing, you have a blessed day, and just subscribe, and you can learn more because you gotta stop smoking those and stuff like that, because it's killing you.
Yeah. I just quit.
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day, so when you get home, just pray on it, continue to learn, and the Lord is gonna heal you, and you might be out here doing the same thing. You know, you never know.
I'm doing it, dog. I'm doing it just a different way. You know, because that's also I can relate to this type of people. Like, you know, that come from like hoods or like urban areas, poverty. Where sometimes they listen like that.
Yeah, well, going in the hood, it always gets bad. Like, you don't want to go in the straight hood. But let me grab you a precept.
No, but that's what we need to be. It's verse, like Jesus said in Matthew. So he was like, because Jesus, like you said, the Pharisees and the tax collectors. He said, do a physician need a physician? I wasn't here to help you good. I was here to help you bad. You can't.
Yeah, like the physician. But he said, everyone said, as no good thing has come out of Nazareth. He said even his own people didn't receive it. Like, you going in the hood, like, you'll get in more fights because they got more demons on them. They be doing like hardcore things. So until the Lord comes back, like really, until He gives us that power to be able to heal them, going in the hood is nothing good going to come to it. You want to go into like a chief place of concourse. Let me grab it for you. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom crieth out without, and utter her voice in the streets. So where you're going to find the knowledge and understand, it's going to be out in the right in Front Street. Right in Front Street. See, she crieth in the chief place of concourse. So there's no chief place of concourse in the hood. You can go to San Bernardino, but the places where all the businesses and places where all that stuff, it's not in the hood. It's outside. They don't put none of that stuff in the hood. And the only one that used to be in the hood is that Carousel Mall. What happened to it? They took that shit down in the Inland Valley. So you want to be out where you're going to see a lot of people, like in the marketplace. That's what a chief place of concord. So you'll be able to teach them, because that's what the Lord said. That's where wisdom is going to dwell. And so you going out there, you're going to get a lot of people that have barbershop knowledge, and they're going to try to argue with you. And then when you get in, like Jake, because that's the nickname, when you talking to Jake, you might say something, and they get offended, and they be trying to fight you. And that's what you already know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, I'm doing I'm going to say the hood.
Like, look at this. Like, is it better to teach a man, give a guy a fish, or teach a man how to fish? And how they gonna get the food and how they gonna eat at that end time is through the scripture. It said, "My servants shall eat," but everybody else is gonna be hungry. Want me to grab it for you?
Teach a man how to fish and get him?
Yeah, teach a man how to fish.
Teach him how to fish and get one.
So the only people that you don't be able, how you can teach him how to eat is the scriptures. Is the Lord gives us his daily bread. He's the one that feeds us. So you might give them some food, but then they'll go and just get on a crack pipe the same day and then destroy themselves. But you teach them this knowledge, and it's going to heal them. And then they be like that, and then the Lord is going to feed them more. And instead of them they get a new house, they get in a different situation, and then even better, and now they're going to be in the kingdom of heaven with a good mind, instead of being destroyed and have to be rebirthed inside the alleged man's loins.
That's a solid goal right there.
But I gave you the channels and stuff, so it's just clear, whatever.
Hey, thank you, man. God bless you. Continue again. And you already know, you don't win this in the end. You get a little ugly, war.
Oh, the Lord said we got the victory. Revelation, the 15th chapter.
All right, that's up to you.
Yep. My bad. I don't have Tinder. I was banned from it because some girl was tripping anyway. But this is Shalom Adamam Yasharala. Yahbashim Yashar Brakatah. Shalom. But continuing, this is Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13, verse. I'm going to continue in verse 14. And this, actually, let me grab this. This is Romans chapter 11. Because remember, the Lord blinded the minds of these people. But he can make anything possible. So how are they going to hear and be able to be healed if they're not on the front street? So this is Salakia. This is Romans chapter 11. I always get Hebrews and fucking Romans. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 7. What then? Has Israel have attained that which he seeketh for? But the election have attained it, and the rest were blinded. So the ones that are going to retain it and be able to listen to it, because he was worldly, but what if he gets healed? He started to do, so he's just going to get a channel. He's going to start getting these channels. He's going to start getting more into the scriptures. He's going to continuously be abound. If he's the elect, this is going to happen. And then he's going to do everything that the Lord put for him. He might stop, but those are the ones that are going to attain it. The rest are going to be blinded. So we just treat a man the way you want to be treated. Because if you want to be talked, you got to know how to talk to people. But The rest were blinded. According as it is written, God has given him the spirit of slumber. So if he was asleep in their eyes that they shall not see, he wouldn't have stopped. He would have either started scoffing, he would have got it. That those ones are the ones that are going to be deceived and take this MOTB. They're going to be asleep. They're going to be able, and when you're sleeping, like, have you ever had a sleepwalking? Or like when you're tired, like I have a problem when I get super tired. You can ask me something, and I'm going to say yes to like anything reasonable, obviously. I'm like, yeah. I have whole conversations. You're just stumbling through. He would have stumbled. He stopped and waited and left his friend left him. His friend was bugged out, I'm just saying. But like him, he stayed and he was willing to see. So his eyes weren't in slumber. He seen it and he stopped. See, more than any other of these people, you know how many people walk? It was one Jake that he had a knife out and he was just walking. That's a person that's gonna have that. That's the one that's blinded. That's the one that's gonna take the MOTB. The ones that are trying to have that sincere spirit to get ready, the understanding to hear this word, and it's like, man, if he was in that spirit of slumber, like he would have probably started scoffing. He would have because I did correct him in some things. I didn't bring out that many scriptures because he was just in awe, and that's the power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. And the ears that they shall not hear unto that day. So that's what the Lord said. But he heard, he received it. So Lord willing, he repents. This is Revelation. So going back into it, the ones that are going to be deceived. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 14. And deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So he deceived all these people. Oh, look at man. Everything they do is right. They created everything. This is the deception Esau, Edom has put forth throughout the entire world. Sorry, that's powerful. The entire world. He's saying, so he deceived them. And they saying that this man is God. That's what they're thinking, that this man is God. So they're going to take that MOTB. Saying to them that dwell on earth that they should make an image of the beast. So they'll put forth, and now you see all these Caesar Borgia churches. Now you see whenever someone has an image of who the so-called Jesus Christ, they put a white man, but Yahushua is a dark-skinned, beautiful man with white woolly hair, and he's not no fucking Edomite. But they put an image, and then also the system that it's okay to be LGBT, whatever, or it's okay to do all these fucking weird philosophies with law of attraction, which is Satanism, which is set in the image of the beast, just how they made Nebuchadnezzar. They said if you hear the type of song and music, so when people go to any stadium game or anything, what do? They pledge allegiance to what? To the image of the beast, pretty much. The United States of America. Well, and they're not united anymore. How are you being united? You got two different decisions. But that's why they said it was going to be like a lamb with two horns. That they should make an image of the beast, which had a wound, which him that wound by the sword did live. So the modern day Roman Empire, this is what it is. This is an ancient one that fell. Well, not ancient, like the first one fell and it came back up. And they make just the same way they did. The same people have the same building structure, the same food and what is it called? Bread and circus. And now they're giving out these food drives so to rock you back to sleep, to make you lazy, to make you do all these things. No. And he had power to give life onto the image of the beast. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many that not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So the Lord's still going to give them that. They're going to be able to take you down. If you don't, so now you don't see this blackout system. So you might have a small business. So when these blackouts come, what the hell do you think? Now all the power, and now you have to like they don't say an EMT. So now all these systems are going to be, because when an EMT hits, anything like electricity will be shot down. So now when you want to get a new card system or new banking system, you're going to have to go into them. He said, all right, here it goes. Just how they did the Obama phones. That's a testament. They said, all right, have this or get this Obama. So now you want to get your new payment system for your small business. You're going to have to go and, hey, yeah, well, this is a system we're putting forecast since all the power get off. It's kind of worthless now. So we have a better system. We're going to put, so deceive. And then when it's going to get so powerful that now, they're going to turn your stuff off if you don't. So now anyone that is not agreeable with it, once they have enough numbers, they're going to be willing to put you to death for it. They're going to say, all right, this guy's a criminal. He's a terrorist. And they're going to put you under trial, and they're going to play all these things that he was listening to this terrorist. And they're going to vote upon you. Yeah, kill him. And they're going to be looking, in their mind, that's why they said they're going to have, that's why trials, they have of your people, like, I'm trying to think what it's called, of your peers that vote on it, so they can, 144, and there's a 144 right there too. Come on, Yahweh Shema Al-Shai Brakatah. To be killed. And he calls all great, rich and poor. So you see, it's a separation for it's like, well, the rich people won't be okay. No, if you're not one of the 13 families of those wicked ass people, you're going to have to take it. Well, you see all these celebrities, they're going to have to, and you see the celebrities are for it. They said 250 celebrities signed like a petition saying to ban people that are against abominations, the LGBT people. They said that's hate speech and they need to ban them off the line. And now, so what do you think they're not going to do the same thing with fucking the systems of banking? Of course they're going to do it. Come on, man. You have to just think of it. And he didn't have no distinction. And the rich people are going to willing to do it because they've been working 50 years all their life, and now their small business is fucked. So the only thing they have to do to continue to live their lifestyle that they lived in is they're going to have to take that. They're going to with seconds because they're not going to be able to not drive a Ferrari. Have you ever seen what happens with people that are rich and become poor? Trading places is the best example. Look what happened to that. He fell the shit. He didn't have nothing. Now he's thrown into life, especially those older men that have been rich all their life and that's fucking lost everything because you were just a high-paid slave. And remember, they don't have no financial ability. They were in the hood, but remember, first of them don't be coming from the hood. That's a fucking lie. Like, first of all, to go to a basketball camp is like $1,500. Like, to go to any sport camp, because that's how you get recognition. Look, that's how you get recognition. It's not fucking how good it is, who you know. But all those people, they were children when they were going through it. So imagine you have $100 million, and then now you don't have nothing. Are you going to be able to live a low life where the deals to go to like what's good, that's cheap, and you can go through a week without it? Or where to find the good stuff? No. So both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a M-A-R-K in their right hand or in their forehead. So this is what they're doing. So that's why the Lord said, proclaim ye among the nations, because they're going to try, and a fire of his jealousy, they're going to try to take the woman, the Lord's woman, and defile her. Sex means to cut in. They're going to try to cut into the Lord's woman and try to make them a perpetual slave. So that's why these nations are going to be gathered to fight against each other, so they're all in one spot, well, their armies at least, to be destroyed right then and there, in the valley of decision. Let me grab that and I'm going to end it. Because I went long enough. It's Salakia. So I don't want to go. I'm trying to watch these brothers live. So Salakia. I don't have it. Let me just grab it. Oh yeah. That threw me off. Bear with me. Oh, that's why. This is I'm gonna end off with this. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 2. And I will also gather all the nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is which is Yahweh's decision, Yahweh's judgment, Salakia. Salakia. I don't know. I got a brain fart. And I will also gather all the nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh-Shaphat, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they scattered among the nations and parted my lands. So this is going to happen. The Lord is coming and he's going to burn these nations to the ground, and because he's pleading for his nation. They're going to try to take over the Lord's woman. So he said he's going to gather the nations up and put them in one spot to destroy them. And then all the other ones that are not going to be in the battle, you guys are going into slavery. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and I'm going to just say, because that's spiritual. You know, what did they do when they took, when the northern kingdom got taken into slavery? They took Gad and Reuben first. So the Lord is a man of war. So you take out the armies first, so there's no person to fight, because that's what the people are going to be in the valley, is the soldiers. And then you can just take away the weak of the people. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash, the Wada Yah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, and Shalom. And Shalom, King, Yah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Barakatah, Shalom. Yahweh Thanin, Yah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai.